Welcome back to Cabral House Call. I'm Stephen Cabral, board-certified naturopathic doctor, and today on our Weight Loss Wednesday edition, we're taking your questions all related to our first topic on our previous show today on sleep and how sleep is so important for transforming your body, not just in terms of wellness, but also weight loss as well. I went through the specifics of how you regulate blood sugar and you regulate hormones, which decrease appetite and stimulate fat burning by getting the optimal amount of sleep. Definitely tune into that if you didn't already. Now let's talk about the second part. What are your questions now related to sleep and weight loss, and also optimizing weight loss in general, not just through sleep? All right, so the first question today, we've saved up these questions, so if you've been waiting a week or two to get your questions answered, it's because we've been saving it for this specific episode, which we knew was in the works. All right, so Tyrone asked today, what's the best sleep position? So this is actually a pretty interesting question. I've answered this in terms of kind of like how best to set yourself up at a desk ergonomically, but let's go over in terms of sleep. Really, really important. I think not just in terms of falling asleep, but also in terms of actually kind of decreasing pain that next morning when you wake up. So there really is an optimal position. I've studied this, I've looked into it, and for most people, it's lying on your side with your legs slightly pulled up in that fetal position. All right, so fetal position typically, or not typically, it does mean lying on your side. It means kind of one arm placed on top, or one hand placed on the other hand. It means your knees pulled up together. And what that does is that's the natural human position for sleeping. You do need a mattress, which we'll kind of talk about as well, and how you can best position yourself for that. And what I'd also like to say is, why not sleep on your stomach? Well, I used to be a stomach sleeper for, I would say, I don't know, maybe until my late 20s. And I did it because that's how I was most comfortable to fall asleep for whatever reason. But I can tell you for sure that it's not an optimal way to sleep, because you're not allowing for that full expansion of your stomach and diaphragm and chest as you breathe, and your head is turned directly to the side at 180 degrees for that whole night. Unless you sleep face down on a pillow, you have your head turned all the way to one side, which is tightening muscles on one side where the head's turned to, and it is loosening muscles on the other. So not optimal at all for sleep. Now, why would it be not okay to sleep on your back? So sleeping on your back, it's not that it's bad for you. Because again, it depends on ergonomically how your body is positioned, because a lot of people sleep with a pillow. If you didn't sleep with a pillow, then sleeping on your back actually wouldn't be as bad, because you'd be positioned and aligned pretty properly if your mattress was fairly firm. But most people don't have a firm mattress either. So let's go back to that. If you're sleeping on your back, you're propped up, your chin can be closer to your chest, and it also allows people to have more apneas. And apneas a lot of times happen from that, well, your stoppage in breathing essentially, but the tongue can fall back in the mouth. There's an epiglottis-based issue. And so what happens is the tongue can actually block the passageway, and you're more likely to snore. So what I'm looking at is, since you're propped up, the opposite. Now, if you've ever done CPR before, or if you've ever taken, a CPR-based course, when they do that head tilt chin lift, that position, that's optimizing the airway, right? Well, when you're sleeping on your back with a pillow under your head, that's the direct opposite of that. So instead of head back, chin up, you're chin down towards your chest, forehead up. So that is not helping you open up that passageway, which means you're going to get less oxygen in. Hopefully that analogy does help. And if you're not used to sleeping on your side, again, that will help with snoring, all of those things if you sleep on your side, do start to get into that position by making it comfortable for yourself. Put a small pillow between your knees, that will take the pressure off your lower back and knees, those two joints touching each other, and just start to get used to that position. It took me a while, it really did. It took me at least a few weeks to maybe more than a month to get used to it, but I knew in the long run I did have to switch my sleeping position from my stomach to my side. All right, hopefully that helps. Next question is from Francine. Francine is asking, how many pillows should you prop yourself up with for proper posture when sleeping? So this is a great question. Her longer question was, I'm using basically a sleep number bed and I have my feet up and all of these things. Should I also use pillows? So it was an in-depth question, and I'm going to get to all of it. I just don't want to read the whole paragraph of questions of what she had, because you have to be able to optimize your body to not sleep with 5 pillows, because that just shows there's a lot of inflammation or a lot of pain or a lot of biomechanical deviation in your body. And that just means improper joint alignment. One of the things, an interesting concept I've heard spoken before is the level of your pain or the level of your biomechanical issues can be predicted or looked at by the number of pillows you need to get comfortable. So if you need like 4 pillows or a full body pillow or all these things to get comfortable in bed, you really have to look at your alignment and your inflammation and different joint-based issues in your body. So what I'm recommending is 1 pillow under your head, sleeping on your side, okay? So that your neck and head stay aligned with your spine. So you don't want the pillow so high that your neck is out of alignment, turned to the side as the pillow's under you. You want it in line with your spine. That's a good alignment, okay? Now the next pillow, and one other pillow, this is all I recommend, would be one between your knees. And that would allow for your hips to just stay in better alignment as well. Because your knees don't typically touch when you're sitting or when you're standing, right? They stay kind of, let's just say around 6 inches for most people apart, maybe a little bit more when you're standing, sitting, and that just keeps you in line with your hips. So I like the idea of those 2 pillows. If you need pillows between your ankles and then, throughout your whole legs, or a full body pillow, or you put 2 under your head, that just goes to show you that, again, your body's not in very good alignment. You could work with a forward-thinking chiropractor that does more active release or soft tissue work rather than joint manipulation. Not that joint manipulation can't be okay or good sometimes, and it is, don't get me wrong, but it does mean that more soft tissue needs to be worked on. And not just that, you should work with a physical therapist, exercise physiologist, or personal trainer on working on your posture as well, to open up your chest, to pull your shoulders back, to work on foam rolling your hips, strengthening your hamstrings, open up those hip flexors, all of those great things, so that you're not in pain, because lying down in bed should obviously not be a painful experience, okay? And the other thing is, you wanna make sure your mattress doesn't dip. Okay, if you have a mattress that just dips in, that's really soft, when you get into it, that's not a very healthy thing for your body to be lying on. You want a firmer mattress, not hard as a rock, but firmer, so that your body can be more naturally aligned. All right, I hope that answers your question. Geoff is the last person asking their question for the day, and he asks, should I snack before bed for weight loss? So, this is kind of controversial because a lot of people say, do have a little something before bed so that you're satiated and so that your body can keep that metabolism revving. Now, you could go both ways on this. I personally no longer make that recommendation. Previously, I made it to regulate blood sugar, and that is my only exception to this day, okay? But not everybody needs to regulate blood sugar. So let's go back. If you're going to snack before bed, my highest recommendation is a handful of protein, vegetarian or animal-based, or a 1/4 cup of nuts, like raw almonds or something like that. Chew them to a paste. Make sure it's really easy to digest whatever you eat. So you're going to do that to better stabilize 3 hours after dinner or so blood sugar levels throughout the night. If you are someone that wakes during the middle of the night, a little hungry, or potentially low blood sugar level, then that could be a great option that obviously makes a lot of sense for you. But if you are someone that doesn't wake up hungry, that doesn't wake up with low blood sugar, I would prefer you to stop eating 2 to 3 hours before bed so that all the food is moved through your stomach and so that your body can better work on detoxification and slowing down. Because remember, when you put food in your stomach, it has to speed back up. It has to use that energy to break down food and to work on digestion rather than using that energy for clearing, cleansing, detoxifying the body. And the more I read about detoxification, the more I do realize it is the key and it is the answer for most people who are not able to lose weight, who have tried everything, and who are not able to get well, and who have tried everything. I mean, it honestly is, and that's why you can do a very simple thing that allows you to do a normal intermittent fast of going from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. every morning, or 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. every morning, or 6 to 6. I try to get in that 12-hour window for every single client that I work with, except those people who can't balance their adrenal glands yet, or their adrenal-based output, which is cortisol or low cortisol, or they can't balance blood sugar. All right, so obviously there's always a couple exceptions, right? I don't think I've ever said anything that's an all for one, because there is no all for for one, but 90% of what I do say applies to 90% of all people, and then there's just that exception. And I do have to make sure that that exception is taken care of, but believe me, the exception is obviously far and few between. You will most likely benefit from exactly the main thing that I spoke about and not the exception. All right, I hope those answered your questions today. Always do love answering your questions, and I'll be back soon on another Cabral House Call. Thank you for just tuning into the Cabral Concepts. We've been getting a lot of questions lately about what next? What can I do next? And so what I'd like to say is if you want to take your wellness, weight loss, or anti-aging goals to that next level, I'd say this. We have 3 options for people to start with, and you can just see if it's the right fit for you. What we do is we have the ability for you to simply click the Start Here button on the StephenCabral.com website, and you can choose 3 options, the best one that fits your needs. The first one is simply getting more details on how we work with clients in our wellness practice. So it could be options on functional medicine lab testing, it could just be on free recipes, we have our exact workout templates, everything that you need to just get started. The second level is completing the Dr. Cabral detox. Anywhere from 7, 14, or 21 days, it's the absolute best way to lose weight and improve your wellness. And we guarantee it. I mean, there's very few people that do guarantee their work. We absolutely guarantee that you will get results with this. And the third way is that you can do complete personalized wellness planning. And that includes choosing one of the functional medicine labs that we have on the website, or multiple if you would like, getting those labs shipped to you, completing the lab right at home, and then we send you in about 3 weeks after that a complete personalized wellness plan that includes everything our wellness clients and weight loss clients get at our Boston practice. So all you have to do is simply go to StephenCabral.com, click on the Start Here button, and you can get started and choose the level that works for you.